Okay, everybody, so we are going to get started. This is Bringing Crush Home week 7, and this one is all about host coaching. So welcome. My name is Jenna Flynn. I am a lead director with ONEHOPE. We are going to share a bit about what you do once you book an event and what you do next. So in this next slide here, we have we're going to be focusing on these key behaviors. So everything that we do in our business falls under these actionable behaviors, and that is book, enroll, and teach. So with book, we're getting new hosts and current hosts that are going to have amazing wine tasting fundraisers. And so wine tasting fundraisers are where the magic happens. So we want to make sure that we are booking. Enrolling, our impact and income grow when we enroll new teammates and wine club members. So think about what you could do with the extra bonuses, enhanced commissions, and reoccurring revenue. Okay, so, and then teach. So when you want to teach other people to do the same thing. When others see the simple steps of a wine tasting and realizing that they can do it too, we want to welcome them with us on this CE journey and introduce them to the new tools and resources that we have, and we can show them how it's done. Okay. So today we're going to focus on host coaching. So host coaching is a huge, valuable, and impactful way of enhancing an event, really. Okay. So when we are host coaching, we are partnering with the host. So that's really what we're doing when we're host coaching, just like you might coach a team member, just like coach coaches a sports team. You are coaching your host to have a successful event, because really when you book an event, you want to partner with that host. You're not doing everything. They really want to make it so that they're partnering with the host, so that they can have a successful event. So just like you have a why for selling, they have a why for hosting. So figure out what their why is. It might be to, earn money for an organization. It might be because they love hosting events. It might be because they want the free wine. It could be a combination of all of these things. So host coaching is really, just partnering with that host. Okay. So, just to give you an example of a situation when difference between host coaching and not, I remember when I first started, you can just basically book an event, and it could be your own event. It could be someone else's event, but basically, just putting it out there. An example of something that's not host coaching would be posting an event on Facebook and, inviting hundreds of people and seeing who shows up. That's not host coaching. Host coaching really is partnering with that host. So an example of good host coaching would be, creating that event link with them, asking your host what their goal is for the event, whether it is to earn free wine, whether it is a certain amount of money that they want to raise for their nonprofit that they're of choice. And that's going to dictate to you really what kind of involvement they want in this event, and what you need to tell them to do or help them coach them to do to get there. So really the best way to do this here is making sure that your host has the best wine tasting fundraising event. You want to make sure that they feel confident, valued, equipped with all the tools need to maximize the event, creating a relationship. It's not just a one-way street here. You are partnering with them. You're setting them up for success, and you're building belief that yes, they can have a successful event, and maybe they can even do this too. So that's really what host coaching is. Now, the benefits of host coaching are the attendance. When you coach your hosts to have at least 10 guests at the event, you are guaranteeing that they're going to have a successful event, right? As long as that host is really telling their guests what the why is for the party. So really coming from the party with the perspective of really raising money for the nonprofit. So we want to make sure that your host is gaining that attendance there. If people can't come, then they are getting outside orders, which is huge. Even before, during, and after the party, those 3 points. So that covers the sales. The bookings. When you have people come to the party, if you're coaching your host, you're having a better chance for bookings. The magic happens at events, so they're getting better chance for you to book future bookings, because your guests can actually see what that experience is. You're creating those relationships, and then they're going to get a chance to see, if this is how simple this was for Sally. So Sally just put some simple charcuterie board out there. If she can do it, I can do it too. Sponsoring, same thing. Your best chance of sponsoring at an event is the host. Give her certain jobs at the tasting, have her help pour the wine, have her help set up. She already went through all of the work of inviting. That's half of what we do, and following up. So if she sees that, it's simple for you to do, if it was simple for her to set up, if you keep it to 2 hours and she sees that it's something that is duplicatable for her, she can then, or he could join. And confidence, right? It's going to give you more confidence as a CE, and it's going to give them confidence that they could do this too. Okay, so that is the benefits of host coaching. Moving on, we want to make sure that we are setting clear expectations and guiding them through the process when they are a host. So what do they have to do? Simply hosting an event is simply choosing a date, a time, a place, a cause of choice that they want to raise money for. The cause gets 10% of any sales that happen. And the host, when it reaches $500 in sales, gets 10% back in wine rewards as well. So what will you do? You will guide them in a Napa Valley wine tasting. So you are bringing the winery to them. You are simply pouring wine. You are sharing the cause with the help of the host. The host is actually sharing the cause that she chose or he chose. And you're there to help answer any questions. So you're reading bottles. It's really that simple. Who should they invite and when? So you should be telling them they should invite. Okay, at least I always recommend for my host to invite 20 to 30 people because only about 10% come. So if they over invite, they can expect, not that many people to come. How do they invite people? So this can be done in a lot of different ways. You could create a Facebook group. You could create a Facebook event. The difference is the Facebook event goes away, the group stays there. You want to use the templates that we have on Canva. So I will be showing you those in a bit, but we already have templates already created for you. The work's been done. All you have to do is plug in your information, and that's how you invite. I give my hosts the exact verbiage of what it is that they're going to send to their guests. And if I scroll back through my messages here, I'm going to see if I can find a simple example so I can share with you. Let's see. But I want to make sure that we realize that it is literally, you're giving them everything that they need to simply send to somebody. So it's very, very simple, very easy to duplicate. And that is super simple. Okay. So let me look. I have a couple different hosts I can look up here. Okay. Let's see. All right, so I send my host this. Here's your invite. Personally text them with something like this. Hey, I'm hosting a wine tasting fundraiser benefiting whatever the nonprofit is. I would love for you to invite a friend and join us for drinks. Think margaritas, sangria, and chips and dips. Let me know what kind of wine you like so we make sure that we have it. So this particular tasting was a margarita Monday. So I let them know, I set the expectations. I set the expectation that we're raising money for a nonprofit. And I asked a question at the end. When you coach your host to ask a question at the end of their message, then it elicits a response. So we want our potential guests to respond. So, and that's what that does, is it gives you information as the CE to be able to have a successful event, because you're giving them the wine that they like. So I always make sure that I ask my hosts to make sure that they ask their guests what kind of wine that they like, and invite a guest, because that's going to, again, grow your RSVP list. All right. So what will you be providing? I skipped one. What will they need to provide? So I tell my hosts that they need ice, especially if you're bringing the margarita wine. Clear plastic cups is something simple that I always like to do. And then just a simple charcuterie board. Unless there is a specific theme in mind, a simple charcuterie board is really all that you need. Just some cheese, meats. I always offer my services to help them put it together. But it's, again, you want to keep it simple, because keeping it simple really helps you be able to be duplicatable. And then your host can see how easy it is to do what you do. And then your guests can also see how easy it is to host. What will you be providing? If you have wine to offer, meaning you have a host kit, you earn host kits every time you have a $500 event. That is an in-person event. So you can earn a free 6 bottles for your following tasting. So if you have those, by all means, offer them to a host to host their tasting for free. If not, they will need to provide, they will need to provide a, wine. So they're going to buy their wine, and that is 6 bottles usually. And they will be purchasing that. I usually tell my hosts to, once I create the event link, that they're going to purchase their wine, as a guest on that tasting event. So that means that they're going to get that 10% donation back to the nonprofit from their wine, and then they're also going to get 10% back at the end once their event reaches 500 in wine rewards. They also then can take advantage of the purchase with purchase 3-pack, whatever that is for that month, and then they're able to get even more wine for less. So that is something that they're going to be providing. When they should expect to hear from you throughout the process. I try to check in with my hosts every few days, and there is a checklist that you can use, and you'll be able to see that here in just a little bit. This part here is so important. We want to make sure that you're coaching your host to invite their Frank, and I always add an S there. So the acronym FRANK stands for friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and kids contacts. The way that you really coach your host to have a successful party is to invite, like I said, I usually tell them to invite at least 30 guests. And they can do that by using this acronym. So think of it as, what friends do they know? Have them in that message that you initially sent out, invite a guest. That's friends of friends. Bring a guest. Maybe you could even do a little challenge if whoever brings a guest gets a little something. Relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kids contacts. I like to add an S and put spouse contacts. If they're a part of any groups like churches or any particular like book clubs or whatever it might be, that would be G. So I add that at the end, but that's important too. You want to invite this because then they're having people from different circles of friends, and that's going to expand your network. It's also going to give you greater opportunities for multiple bookings at the tasting, because that's the best place to book referrals and more people to ask to join you for sponsoring. And it also reduces invite decline. So you're going to get that nice mix of people. Your host is going to be happy that they have a good group there. You're going to be happy. It's a win-win for all. Okay. So next we just have fun. The best part, honestly, about tastings is the fun. All right. So it's so much fun to have tastings. It honestly doesn't even feel like you're working when you're at tastings because it is incredibly fun. It's the most fun job ever. Make your invitations special. Use you can even make them handwritten. Use the Canva ones that I'm going to show you. You can make them with fun images. I usually put whatever mine is around the theme that I'm doing, whether it be Margarita Monday or Sangria and Sips. I'm doing a wine Olympics one, so I'll post something related to that. So it really, just make it fun. You're trying to offer them a different type of event. This is not like, I mean, it's very similar to having happy hour with friends, but you're bringing the winery to them. So you want to show them why your parties, why is your event fun? Send them memes and gifts. Offer a host challenge. You could do a little host challenge with there's different boards out there like tic-tac-toe boards for your hosts that are fun to do. You could include things like, maybe invite 30 guests. Send your messages, your individual messages to your guests. Get 3 outside orders before the party, get 3 outside orders after the party. Have 8 guests place an order at the party. Have 2 guests book a tasting. So all of these things, and then maybe they get little extra reward points from you if you have some on hand, or maybe you just go to the dollar store and get a wine glass and fill it with something. So that's fun. You can use the host checklist that I'm going to be showing you to create something like that. And I'm sure there's something that's already been created, which I believe I actually have already created myself. And coach them to reach their goals. So the impact and rewards, whatever it is, like let's say you ask them in the beginning, they're raising money for American Cancer Society and they want $100 in donation. So ask them, how much do you want to be able to donate to your nonprofit? If it's $100, you can say, okay, well, if you want $100 donation, our event needs to be $1,000 in sales. And that means you're also going to get $100 in wine rewards to spend once that event closes. So what that means is the average order is about $100. So we want at least 10 to 15 guests at your event. Do you think we can do that? And whether that is maybe 3 guests order before the party, 3 guests order after, maybe 8 show up, that is the way you coach them to $1,000 events. So set the expectation and let them know that that's what that means. Host coaching equals growth, income, relationships, and success. When you have a party that doesn't involve any host coaching, you're pretty much just setting yourself up for an event that, may or may not be successful. I mean, you want to get the most bang for your buck because when you host an in-person event, it's the best use of 2 hours in your business. It really, really is. You're going to spend a whole lot less work doing that. So it is worth the time. It is a learned skill and it's totally it's amazing. Coaching your host can be so much fun. Okay. So before I get into sharing where you can find more information about host coaching, the Crushing Summer Incentive is May 1st to July 31st. You can earn sales equals points and swag. Okay, so it's a great way to promote your business and get even more sales. This week's focus and this month of June, the focus is this tumbler. It's really, really cute. It says this may be wine. It's our June sprint challenge, and you can earn this when you have 2,500 points in June to get this summer incentive. You earn points by closing rings, one of the way that you do. So it's $500 in new customer retail sales and 1 personally sponsored CE. You can also earn new points for new retail sales. So you're pretty much being able, by hosting in-person events, meeting new people, you are double dipping on these. Okay, so our call to action before I share these places where you can find this is to enhance your host coaching plan Explore the invitation options, and I would highly, highly recommend using Canva. Please reach out to me if you don't have templates, because I've pretty much created templates for every theme that I've done. And start planning your OND calendar. That stands for October, November, December, our busiest time of year. Plan, obviously the rest of June 1st, and book out, because people will be booking those tastings and getting ready for their holiday gatherings. The next topic is going to be onboarding our new CEs. I would love to share a different screen with you. So I want to share with you a place where you can access, here it is. So here's the index. So if you're going to go on your CE dashboard and you're going to click on index, or I'm sorry, it's help center and then index. So you're going to go off of your dashboard, click index, and you're going to see, I'm sorry, help center and then index. And you're going to scroll all the way down here to where, let's see where it is. Down here, hosting and fundraising events. There's so many cool tools here that are already done for you that are going to help you increase your host coaching plan. Now that you have events booked, that was our sprint challenge from me last week. So you're going to want to use those June and July themes or whatever themes you want to book those. They are on our team page under the Booking Blitz album that's pinned to the top of the page. And you can see here, there's a ton of different ways. There's a mix and mingle format, a wine tasting, event note cards. This tells you exactly how to host an event. Super, super duper easy. This one right here, the host program one sheet. Excuse my kids in the background. So this right here will give you, if you wanted to download these and give these out, you could. I don't, but you totally could. So this is hosting in 5 easy steps. It tells you what it means to host. So if you have somebody that is in your network that is not sure what it means to host, you don't have to send this, but you can simply recap how it works right here. So this would be 10% of the event. It tells you 10% goes back in rewards. It explains here exactly how you would host events. So that's that simple document. This one here is the host booking reach out one sheet. And as you get into doing events, you can kind of just glance at this and know what you have to do. If you feel more comfortable printing it out, feel free. So this right here, this is the reach outs that are available for you in your reach out section on your dashboard. So this is something that you can use to reach out for hosts. And it's really, really important that you always, whenever you're sending a text message, ask a question to keep the conversation going. And that's the same thing that I tell my hosts to do. I give them the exact words that I read to you, to ask them what kind of wine they typically drink, so that it helps me better plan the party. Because I can't tell you enough that if you don't ask, and let's say you bring all dry wines and they like all sweet wines, then they're not going to like anything that you pour. This is the host fundraising event guidebook, what to share with your host. So here's another helpful tool if you've booked an event that you could use. This one here tells you what is a nonprofit fundraising event. It tells you about the rewards. It tells you what to do once your fundraising event is booked. Okay. It tells you tips for your tasting. It tells you what to do 1 week before. Okay, 3 days before, the day of. And it tells you, your host is always the best person to ask to join. So it tells you how to do that. Another things to help you lead the wine tasting event. So here's another quick guidebook. Again, all of these tools are right here. So once it's booked, it tells you to So that first one was for the host. This one is for the CE. So this one's for you. So it tells you the checklist right here. It links other things. It tells you exactly what to do. So there is no question here of what you necessarily have to do once an event is booked. You just have all these tools at your fingertips. Here's the host coaching checklist. So this is another way that you can, this is very simple. This is just all a one pager. And this would be something that you could easily print out, and it tells you, you could go through and check them off. It even breaks it down by in-person events or virtual events. Okay. And then we have host planner checklist. Now, I don't use all these tools simultaneously. I might pick different things and verbally ask, but if you're new and you're just starting out, you know, with planning events, this is a great checklist. So this you can print out. You can put all their information right here. You can check off here before your event, after your event, and it's literally a one pager of what to do. All right, and then we have the edible invitation templates. This is what I was talking about before. You can click on that and it'll take you to invitations that are already done for you. All right, so here we've got wine corks design, vintner collection design, vineyard design, cheers design. So there's all of these invitations that are done for you. You can do them in a PDF, you can do them in a JPEG, but you can see here that you can click on it and it'll load eventually. And you have that at your fingertips ready to use if it wants to start with me here. The other thing that you can do, so here you go. So you can edit this right here. You can add all your info. The other place that I absolutely love going to for these would be Canva. So I'm going to show you where you find those. And I have too many tabs open at this point. If we go, let's see, we go to our index. So I'm going to scroll all the way up to the very top. And under monthly initiatives, excuse me, my kids are screaming. Where is it? Okay, social media, Canva templates. Here. And okay, I'm going to scroll down to what templates are available and I'm going to click on events. All right. So this is going to take me to a free Canva account. And when I get to that Canva account, then I can then edit. And this is the template that I have. And you can see here that there's all of these and they're super simple. You can just go ahead and you can edit them. I even sub out the pictures with my own pictures for this background right here. I put a margarita picture, I put sangria pictures, and I save this as a JPEG. And what I do is I send that, this picture, I download it to my phone, and then I text the verbiage that I told you before to my host. Okay, and I say, send this out. All right, and then a couple days later, I said, here's your invite. Personally text with something like this. I give them the exact words with the verbiage. So I wrote Margarita Monday and wine tasting. You're invited to a One Hope wine tasting fundraiser benefiting. I forget what the cause was. I'll just say American Cancer Society. Monday, May 22nd at 7 p.m. Libby's house with her address, bring a friend. Okay. And then I just keep checking in. I say, you know, how are your RSVPs going? And then I say, you know, what is the general consensus? Who likes what kind of wine? Okay. So that is the end of that. And I'm gonna stop my screen here. And so that is host coaching. So please take a look at all those resources available to you in your back office. Reach out to your mentor. That is our Bringing Crush Home training for this week. All right. Bye, everybody.